Welcome to Jaze Oracle. I'm your host, Jaze Zoracle. Let's get started. Okay, collective. So this is your Jaze Z spread for the collective for March 2025. Take a good look at that. Remember that Mars is now direct and Mercury is about to go retrograde, or already has. Keep that in mind. So you got the past, present, and the future. In the lower right, we begin. We go to the left, we climb up to the upper right, and we go to the left and finish. And the first card that you got for the past is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So for the Ten of Pentacles, a well-dressed elderly man, the family patriarch, sits with two loyal dogs at his knee. An adjacent archway bears his coat of arms, and two more members of the family, a young man and woman, greet each other joyfully nearby. The image appears to be one of clan or family unity based on many years of tradition. The spheres of the Kabbalistic tree of life are superimposed on this medieval family setting, reminding us that we are members of both a family and a community, and that while we seek physical well-being and prosperity in our daily lives, seeking spiritual fulfillment is also important. This card represents long-term success based on spiritual wisdom and understanding. The card's message is that acquiring material gain through a balanced attitude lasts for generations. Here's a little bit of a bonus before we go into the reverse interpretation. A store, boutique, restaurant, department mall, business headquarters, office, or luxurious home. So, you got the Ten of Pentacles reversed in the past. Laziness, or a person who is lazy. Too much luxury stopping you from making real achievements. Family money or financial misfortune. So in the past, collective, there was some laziness there due to too much luxury. It was stopping you from making real achievements, and there possibly might have been some family money or financial misfortune. This makes sense because of the stock market, because of the economy, because of the way things are going right now. So it is unfortunate, it's not positive, but this is something that's been going on in the past, not just for you, but for all of us, really. Or I would say most of us. There is a small percentage that they're not having problems at all, but the majority of us are. So it is negative, it is what it is, but you're not the only one. You're a big part of a big community that's going through the same problems in the past. The next card that you got in the past is the Six of Pentacles reversed. This card represents 6 as a harmonious number. A trader is meticulously weighing gold to distribute it to the needy. It indicates that money owed will be paid back, or that you will receive what is rightfully yours. Moreover, a kind friend, company, or boss may provide financial assistance. It is a good omen if you are seeking a loan or mortgage. Your financial situation may remain steady for a time. It also suggests sharing your good fortune with others who need financial help or support. And here's a bonus before we get to the reversed interpretation. Successfully securing a loan or a mortgage. Now, let's look at what it means that it's reversed. Represents a mean or greedy person, stingy behavior or material loss, such as money or a property. So this blends well with the Ten of Pentacles reversed. It's possible that due to a luxurious situation in the past, achieving any genuine, real, substantial goals was thwarted, as well as that leads to being a greedy, stingy person who does not help others who are in need, and that might even end up leading to a loss of property or money. So let's move on to the final card in the past. The final card in the past is the King of Wands. So for the King of Wands, the fiery king appears to sit forward on his throne, poised for action. This is a vivid image of a king whose clock and background are decorated with lions and curled salamanders. A real salamander stands alongside him, preparing for action as well. Salamander has long been associated with fire as an animal. Some salamander species, such as those associated with the element of fire, exhibit a vivid orange color. After it has rained and the earth is still damp, we frequently spot them in the woods or on pathways. These peaceful, harmless creatures appear on the forest floor like curls of flame, and we must tread cautiously so as not to step on them. The salamander's sinuous physique, with its ability to bend and twist with stealthy ease as it creeps across the earth, suggests not only the element of fire but also charm and sexual appeal that can be magnetizing. Its wet skin reminds us that fire frequently needs the element of water to cool down. The king has wit and charm. He is friendly and generous, with a wonderful sense of humor and a great desire to have a good time. Because he is entertaining and upbeat, he can persuade anyone to do anything. He never runs out of fresh ideas or visionary insights, and is ready to decide on difficult matters whenever they arise. However, he can easily overlook minor details and become agitated or lose his optimism when met with the reality of details. He follows his instincts and surfs any obstacles toward success, unfazed by setbacks. Successful entrepreneur, important, kind, interested in business. Strawberry blondes, freckles, brown hair. So I think in the past there was some loss that took place because of luxuriousness that created laziness that helped you to drop the ball and avoided any real substantial achievements. Therefore, you continued in that mode and you were stingy and greedy, didn't help others. Or you were affected by those energies that you encountered in your environment and in society. Regardless, what happened after was the energy of the King of Wands surfaced. So now let's look at the present moment. So we're going to move on to the present, and the card you got, the first card you got in the present moment, is the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups, love affair, relationship development, good friendship. In this card, the number 2 is symbolized by a balance of two opposites, a man and a woman swapping cups. The cups represent love and emotion, as well as the pure energy that emanates from the Ace of Cups, which is now divided between two people. Both of their interests and intentions must be considered. This marriage of opposites, symbolized by the intertwined snakes, reflects spiritual and physical love and brings healing and support. This card represents the start of a good and balanced relationship or friendship. The two spouses share their sentiments and create a balanced environment based on harmony and cooperation. It symbolizes the emotional balance needed in order to achieve goals. It denotes a commitment or engagement, a marriage proposal, or the resolution of a fight or dispute. So, I mean, it could be, the collective as a whole needed help and resources. And the greater part of society that had those resources and abilities was being stingy and greedy and not trying to help out the common man. And perhaps something happened, and a realization came upon the establishment, and now the King of Wands is here with a lot of charm and a lot of red and orange. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to read this past here. So this is an interesting spread. But now in the present, it appears that a relationship is developing. I wonder if this is a relationship between the collective and the powers that be that could help the collective. I wonder if this is the collective acknowledging, accepting, and intertwining different parts of itself with its own self to go forward in a synchronous manner. So let's move on to the next card. So the next card in the present moment that the collective got is the Six of Swords, which the Six of Swords, a suit that frequently shows striving through hardship, represents the delicate balance. A ferryman transports a distraught mother and her infant, the consequence of a broken relationship, across the sea to a distant land. It's worth noting that the water on the right side of the boat is turbulent, while the water on the left is calm. This denotes a shift away from troubles and into a more serene period. This card can represent a literal voyage, a shift to more attractive surroundings, or the urge to embark on an inner journey. It denotes the release of tension and anxiety following a time of pressure. Harmony and balance will be reestablished. 6 is a number associated with assisting others. This card also represents the need to seek assistance when trapped or suffering to go forward in life. Furthermore, it is necessary to stop feeling sorry for oneself. A break, a change of scenery, or stepping back from the issue will provide a fresh perspective. Travel across water, away from troubles, a vacation, time or opportunity to restore harmony and balance. So I wonder if in the past, right toward the end of the past, the King of Wands surfaced and was real charming and tricked us into getting into a relationship with him. But then something happened where that relationship failed, and we decided to move on to calmer waters. Not sure. This is an interesting reading. And the last card that you got in the present moment is the Hierophant. So, the Hierophant, the celestial or spiritual parents are the Hierophant and his counterpart, the High Priestess. Okay, the Hierophant or Pope is the carrier and transmitter of spirituality and wisdom. He represents an evolved mind. Between the celestial parents, the Fool's personality is now balanced, integrating the feminine receptive side and the masculine action side. Okay, conventional learning as well as intuitive knowing, spiritual marriage ceremony when coupled with the Lover's card and Justice. It also denotes a gifted teacher imparting experience and knowledge, or an old friend or older person who gives sound advice. The Hierophant symbolizes a high level of consciousness, a natural teacher, diplomat, or counselor from whom you might seek advice. It describes a wise person, someone who has knowledge and deeper wisdom and applies it to make his vision a reality. When this card appears in the spread, it indicates that one's destiny is about to be fulfilled. And here's a bonus. Lateral thinker, inspirational speaker, a person in the diplomatic corps, a mediator or charismatic actor, someone with high moral standards. So is it possible that in the past, the collective as a whole was not helping out each other enough, and then maybe decided to become a little more charming and try to get into a synchronous relationship, but it seems like that fell apart because you guys moved away from moved to calmer waters, and now you might have learned that lesson and realized that you need to have a stronger sense of spirituality and moral fiber. So this is such an interesting reading because, you know, I have a suspicion about the King of Wands down there. But let's take a look at the future. And for the first card for the future, the collective got the 9 of Cups. Just real quick, what are 9s about? Before starting a new cycle with the Ace, you must complete 9 rounds. It denotes the end of one phase and the start of a new one. Ace. The number 9 represents resurrection and things that need to be gathered before completion. It also represents the culmination of all previous stages, such as preparation, knowledge gathering, and skill honing. It represents laying a solid foundation before the 10th step, which is the final completion. This is the Wish card. It represents the fulfillment of a major desire. 9 upright cups form an arc behind a well-dressed man who sits with his arms crossed. He appears to be happy and well-fed, feeling physically and emotionally safe. It denotes emotional stability as well as physical and material happiness. Sensual pleasures are met too. Wishes would come true. Beneficial. So that's a pretty good card to have in the beginning of the future. So I think that moving towards spirituality and becoming more morally fibrous, the universe is now giving the collective a wish. I hope that the collective wishes properly. But the next card is strange. So let's move on to the next card in the future, which is the 3 of Swords. So this card's picture makes it self-explanatory. The background is gloomy, indicating stormy weather ahead. Together, the heart and the swords indicate profound emotional and mental turmoil. As a result of this disappointment, there may be quarrels or separations. However, as swift as the swords are, a flash of insight might occur, allowing a person concerned to put this disappointment and sorrow into perspective and begin to heal. Even though this is a sorrowful time, there is a sense of clearing the ground or the beginning of something new. Swords are symbolic of a person's thinking and perception, and therefore imply that challenges in a relationship or a degree of disappointment and sorrow can be overcome if confronted with honesty. Emotional quarrels and separation. Love affair ends due to one of the partners being unfaithful. I mean, it looks like to me in this spread, we haven't got to the future, the final future card. We haven't got to the root energy yet, but in this spread, it looks like the collective had been sort of lazy and careless and didn't help each other out, and maybe turned to someone who was charming and tried to build a relationship with that charming person, but that fell apart. Sorry, I gotta keep pausing it, and I gotta restate things because I'm still having major issues with lung problems. So the collective, that relationship it tried to build in the present moment is gonna fall apart, and then the collective's gonna turn to spirituality and be more morally fiber and end up getting a wish. But then something's going to break the collective's heart, and it's going to be a huge letdown. So the very last card in the future is the Knight of Cups. Soft, sensitive, poetic, creative, dreamer. This card depicts an artistic, caring, and amorous young man. The Knight of Cups is frequently a fair-haired man. Despite being as handsome as the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups has a much kinder disposition. Consider his appearance and the horse he rides. Unlike the confident gallop of the Knight of Wands, his lovely white horse bows coyly and moves gently and deliberately. His spiritual goals are symbolized by his winged helmet, and his clothes are embellished with the fish of creative imagination. A stream passes across the terrain in the background of the scene, between the hills and the valley, implying the thin line that separates conscious and unconscious sentiments. He represents a sophisticated, high-principled creative youth, an idealist, and a seeker of perfection and emotional truth. This card usually denotes a marriage proposal, a project in the realm of art, or even a love arrival. It signifies an arousing caution when it appears in a spread. While you may admire the romanticism, be careful not to be led astray by this romantic type. So is something gonna try to charm us again? Even though we tried to synchronize and come together, we broke apart, we moved to calmer waters, we turned to spirituality, we got a wish, and then we got a broken heart. Is something gonna try to charm us again in the future? Or are we turning into the Knight of Cups? So let's look at the root energy. The root energy is the victory card, the Six of Wands. So, a man is depicted on a horseback wearing a laurel wreath, signifying victory and achievement. Does this image remind you of the knight? His wand has another wreath tied to it. People swarm around him in awe. Remember, this is the root energy of this whole reading. Celebrating his accomplishments. This card represents achievement, the fulfilling of aspirations and wishes, bravery, a successful job, triumph in love, and an overall sense of gratification. Others provide recognition, and success is rewarded with acknowledgement. It denotes a promotion for exemplary work or a prize for putting up effort in favor of a worthy cause. Stability and triumph in manifesting or achieving material and creative goals. So it's possible that there's like a roller coaster ride. I mean, obviously that's what's happening right now. We're all on a roller coaster ride. We're swimming in an ocean of uncertainty. And in the past, I think either we turned into the King of Wands or the King of Wands showed up. And then we either started a relationship with the King of Wands and then it fell apart and we moved to calmer waters, or we couldn't maintain the status and energy of the King of Wands and we had to drop it for a second and turn more to spirituality and trying to have more moral fiber. That gave us, the universe gave us a wish after that, and something broke our hearts. But we either turned into the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Cups comes along in the future. So this is an interesting spread. If anybody has any insight in it, please put it in the comments. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing. Please tell everybody about my show. And check out jazeoracle.com. And I'll see you next time.